Have you ever wondered what it takes to retire at the age of 30? Well, for starters, retirement isn't an age, it's a financial number. And there's no real law that says that you need to work till you're 65. It's all simply a myth that we've developed in the Western world, mainly America, and we've told people that you have to work your butt off until you're 65 years old, and then you can finally retire. But who's to say that you can't retire in your 20s or even in your early 30s? I've spoken to many people who are on their way to leaving the workspace at an early age. Granted, in my platform and in my business, a lot of those people are professional athletes, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're all very well prepared to leave the workforce at a young age and retire in their 30s and be able to live off the money that they've made for the rest of their lives. I'm pretty much going to give y'all some insight today, and I'm going to give you a perspective of somebody who's been able to accomplish a lot in their 20s. I myself am not 30 yet. I believe that I've made some pretty sound and smart investments, and I'm doing pretty well financially that I can get to a point that by the time I do turn 30, I will be in a position that I will be able to retire. I have purchased my mother a home, multiple vehicles, as well as being financially responsible for my entire family. And I believe that it is very much possible to still retire in your 30s or even before you turn 30 while still balancing a normal life and handling responsibilities such as myself, like taking care of my family. I'm not going to tell you anything that I learned off of Google. I'm simply going to explain based off of research that I've done for myself. We're going to get into my own personal experiences and what I think is possible and what's realistic for most Americans. And not even just Americans, for people all around the world. The quickest way to achieve financial freedom and to get to that level of success where you can retire at a young age is to simply hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification button where you're notified anytime that I drop some content. Now, what we don't realize is statistically it shows that 85 to 95% of people who support my content and watch my videos will in fact become financially successful and financially free. You know why? Because we dropping our free game and free content weekly, and we giving out free sauce to all of y'all. All you got to do is simply click on the video and hit like and subscribe to my channel. It don't cost you a penny, so you're investing $0 and you're able to make millions. But on a serious note, I am going to talk to you all, and I'm going to give you some financial advice and tips, and this is all coming from somebody who's been where a lot of people are trying to go at this age. First things first, we've got to get into the FIRE movement. Now, for those wondering, the FIRE movement stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The goal is ultimately save and invest aggressively. There are 5 main points of the FIRE movement. The first one is lean FIRE. The lean FIRE is pretty much being able to retire and being able to spend under the US average of an income per year. So the average income in America is about $61,000 per year. I guess that's the median. The goal is in the lean FIRE movement for people to spend around $40,000 to $50,000 a year and be able to live within those means and retire without having to work another day of their life or make any sound investments. The second point is barista FIRE, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's where you quit your major job at your corporation or your company or your business or whatever you was doing, and you simply get a lesser job where obviously it wouldn't have been enough to make ends meet before. It possibly could even be a part-time job, and it could be something as simple as working at a barista. You're not depending on that income to make ends meet. You're simply working this job, but you still have enough saved up and enough invested to live comfortably for the rest of your life. Third point is coast FIRE. This pretty much means that you literally coast through life. No more extra money is needed, no more investments, no more working a small part-time job, no special limitations or money you need to spend or whatever. You're simply coasting through life, and again, exactly what it sounds like. The fourth point is FIRE, which is simply financial independence, kind of the name of the whole movement, the FIRE movement. And simply stated, it's just pretty much living your normal life. The exact amount of money you're living on and you're making and you're spending before you retire, you're simply gonna follow that same pattern of behavior and follow those same strategies moving forward. And fat FIRE, I believe, is what most people hope to achieve, in which you'll probably make some huge investments in your early years, maybe in your late teens or possibly even your early to late to mid 20s. You're spending well over $200,000 a year, but you're living so comfortable because of the massive investments you've made and the large amount of money that you've been able to accumulate and save over the years. Now, when you hear all these different things, there are 3 questions you have to ask yourself. First one is simply, how much money do you spend personally? Secondly is, how much money do you have saved? And third of all, it's, how much money do you currently make? Now, these are 3 questions you're gonna have to be able to ask yourself and be honest about before determining which lane or which bracket you fall in the whole 5 points of the FIRE movement. And now, I personally have mixed feelings about the FIRE movement myself, but one thing I'm 100% positive about is that it allows people to focus and put more intensity on retirement and following their dreams and sticking to a script and sticking to a plan. I'm a person and a solid believer that I know that I don't control anything. Ultimately, God's in control of everything that's going on in my life. I believe having a solid plan and a foundation is very imperative and very, very pivotal in trying to have some success. And I believe that's where the FIRE movement comes into play, because it simply allows you to get focused on one goal and you really work towards it. First things first, you have to start planning and dreaming about your retirement. One of the best things about the FIRE movement, it is allowing people who are younger and younger to start thinking about their future and retirement. I think as young people, as people in our 20s, I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody in their 20s as well, we all focus on how much money we want to make and what we want to be able to do, but we don't really look too far ahead into the future in terms of retirement. And I think those are things that are extremely important that we should really actually be paying attention to that we don't. Second, we need to find ways to keep our expenses low. The FIRE movement allows you to take time to actually see where your money is going and see what direction it's headed in. It wants you to cut out unnecessary means and needs and determine what is actually needed for you to live comfortably and to enjoy your life, while cutting out maybe some of the unnecessary BS and costs and expenses. Thirdly, you need to look for ways to boost your income. There's no way around it. If you actually want to retire early, I'm talking about early, like 30, you really have to be creative and brainstorm ways and make actual extra income as well. I think that's an important feat that we have to really focus on. I've also got videos about it, passive income, side hustles, and other ways to make extra cash. If you haven't watched those videos, please go check them out. I think they're extremely informative and I think they might help you, especially if this video is something you're interested in as well. Extra income means extra flexibility, extra added cushion and comfort. The more money you make, the more flexibility you have to either spend money or even save money. And the more money that you have saved, that's a bigger cushion. No matter how high the fall is or how hard the fall is, that extra cash is going to soften that blow, and it allows you to really relax and sit back and enjoy life once you actually retire. Fourth, you have to make investing and saving a priority. For those people out there who are big spenders and like to spend money, you might not be all for the FIRE movement, because a lot of the people who like to spend money and do certain things are focused on today and not necessarily tomorrow. Y'all might not know a lot about my personal life. If you actually follow me on my social medias, you would know. So follow me on my social medias, follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Snapchat. That way stay up to date and in the loop with everything I got going on outside of YouTube, finance, and business. But back into it, yeah, if you actually follow me on my social medias, you understand that I don't really spend a lot of money on unnecessary things. I think I'm not at a point in my life where those things are important enough for me to invest in. I do believe eventually I'm going to get to that point where I'll be able to spend that type of money on things like that and not suffer any losses because I got it like that. But right now, all my finances are going to damn Sarah, Dakota, and my family. That's what my money goes to take care of my people in prisons, to make sure my people in the streets is good, to making sure that all my people who have passed away, their families are taken care of as well. Those are things that are important to me, and that's where my money is going right now. Some people who live for today and have that mindset, they just want to spend and have fun and enjoy things. They're not maybe thinking 20, 30, 40 years ahead into the future and thinking about retirement. But the FIRE movement really gets you focused on certain things like that, and it makes you start thinking bigger picture. Do I want to die now so that I can live later on in life, or do I just want to keep living and partying it up and enjoying everything now, and 20, 30, 40 years from now, you're still working like a dog because you have nothing saved up and you were not focused about your future? As I've talked to older people and people who are in a position to retire at a decently young age, they all said that they were wise beyond their years. But even then, they said they wish they would have been into things earlier. So to all my younger demographic of people who are watching these videos, please take this information in and actually understand and soak it up, and understand that it's nothing wrong with saving money. It's nothing wrong with not flexing. It's nothing wrong with not having every pair of Jordans or the newest iPhone or all the latest jewelry, cars, or whatever. You don't have to flex. The biggest flex in life is not having physical materialistic items. The biggest flex in life is understand that your family's taken care of and that you're taken care of, and you can actually live comfortably. You don't have to be 35 slaving, working for the next man, making his dreams come true. Your dreams have already come true. You can actually just enjoy your life. That's a huge flex. A huge flex is being able to say, you know what, I don't have to call in that work to take a vacation. I'm retired, I'm 30 and I'm already retired. I can do what I want. I don't have to call or tap in or check in with anybody. I can do what I want. And that leads into my last point. This is why the FIRE movement might not exactly be for everybody. If you're a person who likes to spend money, or you're not completely focused or worried about your future retirement thing, just disregard this video. I appreciate you for watching this video up to this point. And even certain points of the FIRE movement you might not agree with. I don't know how I feel about the FIRE movement, because if you dive into it and actually do your research, it has some valid points, but also has some points that you might be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But one thing I will say is it gets your mind working and focused on the right thing. There's nothing wrong with actually thinking smart, thinking investing, thinking saving, thinking about retiring at a young age. That's ultimately the American dream. The American dream isn't slaving until you're 65, 70, 75. And if you actually watch my videos, I spoke about this before. 80% of Americans don't even retire at the age of 65 because financially they are not in a position to be able to live off any 401k or any money that they have saved up. So understand that, and there's nothing wrong with the FIRE movement not being for you. Not everybody is thinking financial literacy and thinking future. And if it's not for you, you know what I'm saying, it's just not for you. But that pretty much wraps up today's video. These are things that I think that can help you retire at an early age, and you can start off from nothing because there's no specific age limit that says, okay, well, hey, you got to be at least 18 years old to start this, at least 25. You can really start this at 10 years old if you really wanted to. If you're saving every penny and you have creative ways to get money, there is no limitations on age or gender or demographic. You can really start doing it no matter who you are or where you are in this world. And I feel like the younger the better. So if you made it to this point in the video, please do me a favor. Put a really emoji down in the comment to let me know you're still watching. Now, before we close out this video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button as well as turning on that notification bell. That way you're notified anytime that I drop some content. And while you're at it, please leave a like down below. It helps my content continue to get pushed out in front of more and more people, and the algorithm continues to push my content out in front of more and more people. And follow me on my social medias as well. Follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Snapchat. I just want to say I thank y'all, I love y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching this video, tapping in with your boy Meech, man, and I'm gonna catch y'all back at the next video.